You gonna be a bitch ass motherfucker and not do shit and return to normal? Or are you gonna take a risk on yourself and follow the process that I just laid out? The decision is yours. What's up, Closer Nation? I want to talk to you guys about how you can leverage a podcast to get business. The old school shit, it works. I say it all the time. It's effective, but not efficient. If I call you, hey, what's up, Mr. Jones? Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I'm calling on behalf of Phone Sites. We have a great technology that'll save you money. Hello? Okay, next call. Hello, Mr. Smith. Awesome. I'm Ryan Stewman. I'm a representative with Phone Sites. The reason why I'm calling you today is our technology. Hello? Right? Sound familiar? Anybody? But what about this? Hey, it's Ryan Stewman. I am the host of the Hardcore Closer podcast, where we spotlight local business owners who are doing something amazing in the community. I'd like for you to come into our studio, us interview you, and put you in front of our audience of thousands of local people here that could do business with you. Is that something you'd be interested in? Which way do you think I got a shot at getting in front of the prospect? Look, we're salespeople. All we're trying to do is get in front of the prospect. All we want to do is get the prospect's time so we can build rapport with them, bonding and trust, interest and desire, familiarity, and close them. That's what we do. Bonding and trust, interest and desire builds familiarity, which allows you to close. Somebody bonds with you, somebody trusts you, they have interest and desire in your product, then they're familiar with you so that you have the opportunity to call them to action and close them. Doesn't mean that they'll close every single time, but you got a hell of a lot better shot when you've got a bond and trust with somebody and an interest and desire. First of all, how do you set up a podcast? First of all, you can join Apex at jointheapex.com, and we teach all this stuff like very strategically. We have people in there that can even help you with this if you want, and people you can even outsource it to. You can fill out an application to be a part of that. That's something that you're interested in. Step one is you can set up Anchor on your phone. You just go to your iPhone or your, heaven forbid, your Android, and you download an app called Anchor.fm. With Anchor.fm, you title your podcast, you put some notes there, and then you just record it. You can have guests on there like FaceTime. They call into a number on there, and the two of you are doing the podcast together, and it's free. And you just go in there and you create a podcast. It sends it to iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, all these places that it distributes it for right there from your phone, just because you recorded it with somebody. Maybe you don't have a studio like I do for a podcast. This is the easiest way to do it. I want to talk to you about the future of prospecting people. You are a door knocker, or you go to a networking event, or wherever you might go to meet people. What most people do still today in this age is mind blowing. Most professionals, especially us sales guys, we give out paper business cards. Immediately, people throw those away. They might put it in their pocket, and then when you're not looking, they put it right in the trash. If somebody really wants to contact you, they don't take a piece of paper, they put it in their phone. And for the last year, I've been working on technology. We've done a ton of research and development in the NFC cards. What they are is they're frequency chips that send a signal to phone via Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. If you want to impress prospects, you hit them with this card, you tap their phone with it, it pulls up your contact page, which we have templates. It takes you like less than 3 minutes to set it up. They go, wow, that's really cool. Where did you get that? At the same time, it extracts their information from the phone and sends it to your website. So when you tap somebody's phone, not only do they get your contact information, you got their contact information, which is the point of a business card anyway. You don't have to carry a stack of them. You just put one of them in like a credit card in your wallet. And again, they impress prospects, so they become a conversation piece. Like, here's my card. Tap their phone, show them how it works, which all you can do is just click it and it pulls it up. And they're like, wow, that's really cool. Where'd you get that? And that in itself creates a bonding and trust moment for you and the prospect, because now all of a sudden that you tell, oh, this is a great technology. It's called Postcard by Phone Sites. It becomes a conversation piece in itself. So if you want to save money on business cards, you want to save a big lump of paper, and we'll save you the wow factor with mypulsecard.com. Here's the process for the sales. First, the reach out. We got to be prospecting people. Step one, create a Dream 25 list. What's 25 people you'd like to put on your podcast? But be strategic. Who do you want to do business with? Go and find people in the community that you can do business with. Put them on your Dream 25 list. Reach out to each one of those people. Single, don't group text them, but you can create a template where it's copy and paste for those 25 people. Just don't group text them, all right? And you send it out inviting them. I know you don't know me. I run a podcast here locally. We spotlight local business owners who are doing good in the community. All you have to do is call into a phone number, and we'll do everything audibly over basically a phone. If that's something that you're interested in, just simply to reply to this text, you copy and paste that 25 times. 10 of those people get back to you. You talk to them, you interview them, and you talk them up. You get them on your podcast. See, here's where a lot of podcast hosts make the mistake. They want to talk. You already got a podcast. If you want to talk, when I have guests guest on, I want them to talk more. We're spotlighting this guest. That's who we want to be on there. We spotlight them, we get them talking, we talk them up, we tell the audience how great they are, we make them feel good about themselves. They usually are going to say something along the lines of, man, that was my first podcast. That's pretty exciting. And then you say, yes, it was. Here's what I like to do. As soon as it's live, I'd like to share the link with you so that you can also get it out to anybody in your network that might want to listen to the interview as well. When the thing goes live, you got a reason to follow up with them. We're building that bonding and trust. It's called rapport. 2 weeks later, you say, hey, I just wanted to let you know the stats are in, and XYZ amount of people have listened to the podcast, and I've gotten a lot of tremendous feedback about people are proud to know you. So I just wanted to let you know that we're making a difference. Dude, that's awesome. And by the way, didn't you say that you sold phone sites? They start asking you questions about your business because now all of a sudden the law of reciprocation says this person's done so much for me. I wonder how I can repay them back in some small way. You have a podcast? You must be an authority figure. You get to play that role. So you get to be this authority figure that now is on an equal playing field, if not authority to them, versus someone that's below them, aka a salesperson cold calling. And you got reasons to follow up with them. A month later, hey, I just want to let you know we're up to X amount of listens on your podcast, which is amazing. This is a record show. 3 months later, hey, just following up again. A Dream 25 list isn't lay down sales. A Dream 25 list, you need the local guy that's an electrical company that owns a fleet of 160 trucks. You need that guy on your show because you build that rapport with him every time his truck breaks down, he's in your service. That's who you need. You have to think about this strategically. I just gave you $1 million worth of game. It didn't cost you nothing. Anchor FM don't cost you nothing. Sending an email, a text to a company owner to get them on your podcast doesn't cost nothing. The follow-up doesn't cost nothing. I gave you $1 million worth of game that costs you nothing but your time. And if you are not worth millions upon millions of dollars right now, you have time. You may not be managing it wisely, but you have time to do all of the things that I just gave you. Now's the part of that fork in the road. You've arrived there where you get to make a decision. You go be a ass motherfucker and not do shit and return to normal, or you're gonna take a risk on yourself and start a podcast and follow the process that I just laid out. The decision is yours. I started a podcast in 2011, but that's 11 years of work. So don't start this podcast thinking you're gonna blow up and be the next Joe Rogan. If you do, hey, that's awesome. But the likelihood of it is very slim. Think of this podcast as an intentional tool to recruit talent into your prospect list so that you can create bonding and trust, interest and desire, familiarity, ultimately leading to close them. This is just one of the many things that I teach in Apex. If that's something that you'd like to know more about, right now we're running specials on that. So slide in my DMs on Instagram and say, tell me more about Apex at Hardcore Closer on Instagram. I check all my DMs. So with that being said, rise above.